I have Brady, Sean, and Johnny. And so we're going to be doing a recap of the latest episode of Love After Lockup. So this episode was called What Are You Hiding? Okay. And so I'm just going to go ahead and jump right in to the recap. Oh, and then as you come in, make sure you hit the like button. And if you haven't subscribed, go ahead and subscribe down below. Alrighty. Okay, so we started off, our first couple was Chance and Taylor. Okay, so we see Bobby has left the house, and we learned that Bobby has lived with Taylor for 2 years. And she also gives us some background on Bobby. Like Bobby was addicted to heroin, and that Bobby has overdosed a couple of times, and that her sister went, had to go get her, and she brought her to her home, and she's been trying to help Bobby. I think it's a two-way street. She's trying to help Bobby, and then Bobby is trying to help her with the girls. Okay. And so we see Taylor and Chance talking. And so he's like, I'm sorry that your sister left, but if she can leave so easily, and I can't even remember the rest of what he said because I kind of tuned him out at that point. I'm like, shut up. Apologize if you're going to apologize, but don't start up no mess with her sister. Her sister left because of your big mouth. Right. Okay. So we find out that Taylor and Chance have been trying to call Bobby, but she hasn't been answering or responding to them. And she's upset. And so finally Taylor gets Bobby on the phone. And so Chance comes over, he's like, I'm sorry for, what I said and stuff like that. And she's like, like you shouldn't have been talking to me in that manner. That wasn't cool, and I heard everything that was said. So I know, just like I know you want me to live in the garage, and I'm not going to live in the garage. I know how you feel about me. So she basically lets him know she knows everything, right? And so then we see, so Bobby tells them that she's going to stay with some friends for a couple of days, you know, basically like she's not coming back right now. And she says to them, which I can appreciate her saying this too. She was like, I'm uncomfortable with the way you have talked to me, and then I'm also uncomfortable with being around and y'all are always fighting with each other. And I can understand that because it is uncomfortable when you're around a couple that is arguing. And so we see a scene in which Chance is trying to fold clothes. And he's like, I don't even know how to fold a woman's clothes. And he's also talking about Bobby. And he says he realizes that he now realizes what Bobby does around the house. So it's like now he doesn't look at her as being so worthless around the house. But usually that's how it ends up. You have to lead a situation, whoever's there appreciates what you were doing when you were there. All right. And so that was pretty much Bobby and Chance. I probably missed a thing or two. You guys go ahead and jump in and let me know. So, what is everyone else's thoughts on Bobby? I'm sorry, Taylor, Bobby, and Chance this week?
Okay. Uh Chance. Um but one of the things when he was talking about, because he tried to make it seem like he was talking to Bobby when he was on the phone, and he said,
Mm-hmm.
"Yeah, I talked to Bobby and I had a conversation with Bobby," and I was like, "Well, I never saw him actually talk to Bobby. Everything that Bobby heard, either he heard it from either she heard it from her sister or she heard it because he was talking out loud. So he talking about he respects her. Like, nah, you just realize that all the stuff that she's doing because now you have to do more stuff around the house. So and I still don't trust him. I don't trust him. I didn't say that this episode, the whole episode, I gotta figure out. It's not about to me what they're hiding. It's about who do I don't like the most, because each one I realize, okay, I don't like him, and then the next one come on, I like, well, I don't like her, and then I don't like him.
Yeah.
So I got to at the end of the episode. I mean, at the end of the whole show, I'll probably see who I dislike the most. But right now, Chance is starting to pull up. He's catching up with old girl. But Uh, yeah, he's a bum. He's a bum. So maybe it's good for Bobby that she is staying away. I think that's good for her. And then that also would give them two a chance to, get their act together, because you can see that they are constantly fighting, and he's want control. So now you got what you want. So to me, yeah, he's doing it for the camera, doing it for old girl. It's like, oh, I really miss you. I would like for you to stay. No, he's happy that she's gone. So this way now
Yeah.
he can actually get everything that he wants from old girl. So yeah, that's my thing on Bobby. I mean, on them right now.
Um, I just, this is what happens when you run your mouth. She's been running her mouth to him about her sister. She's been running her mouth to her sister about him. And they won't talk because they already have their preconceived notions about each other. I think Bobby and her sister have an unhealthy codependency relationship. Her sister feels the burden that if she doesn't cater to what Bobby needs, then her sister's going to go and do drugs. And that's not a healthy relationship to have. You should never feel it's your fault when someone goes out and does that kind of stuff. So I don't think she's really worried about her not coming back. I think she's more worried about the fact that she's going to fall into a bad trap of doing drugs again. And if that's the case, then her 2 years with you has not helped her to get over her addiction. I don't know if it's a, I know they're twins and I get that whole twin thing. I'm not a twin, but I don't think that their relationship is based on a healthy um, sibling relationship. It's more codependency. They've both been through things. Don't know why she went to drugs and what's her name didn't. So obviously they had different types of traumas. Um, and she's been through loss. So that could be why she moved in, because she's been through loss and she just wanted to be there for the kids and help with those kids. As far as he goes, um, I think he is trying to figure out how to be the man in a situation where she has kids who are disrespectful to him. She has, she does not talk. Now, in some of their arguments, she's not said anything. He gets mad because of what other people say, and she doesn't correct it. So that's a problem in itself, too. And I don't think she really knows or understands what it is she wants from him. Is it just the D, or do you want him to be the man of the household, or do you want him to do what he needs to do to get some structure in your household? What is it you want from him? And she has a lot of things to figure out before she should have allowed this man to move into her home. And
Absolutely, I do agree with you on that. There's a lot of things that she should have figured out, and I think the biggest thing was her children. What,
mm-hmm,
and then also her sister. Now, with her children, I am not saying that he is a child molester. I'm not saying that at all. But I have seen things on the show that is just inappropriate, and I feel like she should have stepped up and said something. Like, number one, they already revealed Chance has only been out of prison not even 2 weeks yet, right?
mm-hmm,
And your daughter was sitting on his lap while he's rubbing on her legs. That's just not appropriate. Why are you allowing your daughter to think it's okay to be sitting on a man that she doesn't know's lap and he's rubbing on her legs? So I definitely feel like there's definitely some issues. She doesn't speak up about certain things, and she needs to speak up. Just like when he went in on her sister, why did you not defend your sister?
correct. Like when he busted in and said this is ridiculous, blah 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 blah. I'm sorry, doesn't she have an 11-year-old?
I'm not sure how, but that child looks like a
She looks pretty old to know better, or to say, hey auntie, they're not listening, they're tearing up the house. Or she was part of the chaos too. So all of it is just chaotic. And
but
I think, having been through the situation myself, it's definitely something that should have been discussed before he moved in. You
mhm,
know, you try and navigate it after they've moved in, and then you realize, I don't really like that. I'm going to have a talk about this. Or you're going to start all these conversations now, but we're 2 weeks in and you already have so much conflict, and your whole world has changed over what? Is this really what you want? Or do you just want him to be, I don't know, I don't know. Do you really want him to even have a say? And when he told her about her moving into the garage or setting up her own little space, it's not like she was sitting there like, no, my sister's living here, and if you can't get over it, you need to find somewhere else to stay. She
No,
didn't stand up for her sister when she said all that. She's just like,
no,
Mama, okay, we'll see. No, if that's really what you want, then you would have said, no, my sister's staying in this house. I don't care if you're moving in or not, she's going to stay in that room. But she wasn't even speaking up and defending her sister either. So she just doesn't know what she wants. And you're not going to be able to play nice and keep talking trash about both sides and feel like it's not going to fall back on you. And I think that's really what's happened. Her sister doesn't talk to him because she already has her thoughts about what he's in it for. He doesn't talk to her because he feels like she's using her. And I think that was probably his moment, like, well, maybe she's not using her like that since she really is helping with this and she does do this and blah 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 blah. Those aren't the things that she's telling him. It's not like she's going around saying, "Oh yeah, my sister helped me with laundry today. Oh yeah, my sister did this." It's probably all the stuff that her sister does do that annoys her. Ah, she ate up all the food. Ah, she did all of this, as opposed to the things that she's actually helped her with.
yeah.
Because he doesn't see her as a help; he sees her as a hindrance.
Yeah, and even like for me, this is what I had said last week, so hopefully I'm not repeating myself too much. Like with that whole babysitting situation, she doesn't have little kids that you have to keep your eye on and be in the same room with them at all times. They are bigger kids, so I can understand if she's in her room doing whatever and they're running around. Because when you have bigger kids, you don't have to watch them like that. When my son was over 6 or whatever, he's around the house doing whatever. As long as I didn't hear anything screaming or whatever going on, any crying, anything burning or whatever. I wasn't always in the same room with him. Did that make me a bad mom because I was not always in the same room? So why is she a bad babysitter? And then we've seen these kids tear up the living room before. We've seen them walk on furniture, so it's not like you can because they've done that with her in the house. So are you a bad mom because you were in the closet having sex with your boyfriend while they were tearing up the living room and walking on the kitchen table? That was just my displeasure with the part of the conversation. It was like these were toddlers and she needed to be in the same room because they may stick a fork in an outlet. Like these kids are big enough to that they should know better than some of the things that they're doing.
And again, even when he said what he said there, she did not defend it.
She
She
didn't.
just was like, I can't believe y'all did this. Nah, 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 nah. Bobby, where
It's
you
like,
at?
and then I was displeased with that statement because it was like, you've been there and they've been acting up. So how are you going to talk about this? Isn't la 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 la? And then you let your boyfriend rag on her.
Yeah. And she didn't want to say, no, we're not doing that. No, you're not saying that. No, let's find out what happened. No, she didn't put her foot down on any of it. She allowed it to escalate to where it's at. So
Oh
that's
yeah.
on her.
All right, Racy, what are your thoughts?
I agree with what y'all said, and I almost feel like if her kids are so bad that somebody needs to be watching them at all times, then them two need to save they alone personal time for nighttime when the kids go to sleep, and
Yeah.
then they watch the kids because those are her kids. At the end of the day, they're not her sister's kids. They're not. They don't belong to nobody but her. So at the end of the day, if your kids are so bad that they need that much supervision, then supervise your kids. Like if you ain't
Right.
at work, then I don't feel like Bobby has any responsibility of watching them kids. Like if she's there to help you when they're at work, when you're at work, that's one thing. But if y'all want personal time, that's on you. You got to figure out if your kids are that bad. You know what I'm saying? Because they're
Mhm.
making it like, oh, she's not watching them. She's in the room. Like you said, they was in the closet having their personal time. So then y'all shouldn't have been doing that either. But
Right.
that's just my opinion on them bashing her like that. And then I agree with Johnny in the sense of if you hadn't made her out to be so bad, then he probably wouldn't have as negative of an opinion on her.
Yeah.
And I honestly hope that she doesn't do anything crazy. I understand where the sister's coming from in the sense of being scared because she hasn't done anything like left like that or done anything. But maybe this is a good chance for her to see where she's at in her sobriety if she's able to be out from under her sister because that's a crutch.
Mm-hmm.
And so she needs to be able to go have her friends and live a regular life, because if them two get married and want, and eventually she wants to move out, she shouldn't be afraid to, because she's gonna relapse. So maybe staying with some friends, as long as those are good friends, isn't that bad of a thing. And then
Yeah.
too, like you said, Nini, that whole being around couples that are arguing, it's really like uncomfortable. So it's probably uncomfortable for her. It's probably uncomfortable for them kids, even though the kids ain't saying it. They're probably uncomfortable, and I hope that it's a rude awakening for them. If the sister's uncomfortable, that maybe them kids are too. And then the last thing that I was thinking about was how he was saying, oh, I need to. Well, first of all, when he was like, he shouldn't have done that. He feels bad for what he said to Bobby, and he needs to be more careful on what he said. He kind of looked the other way, almost like
Yeah.
I think he feels that way, but he just can't say it because he really don't mean it. Like he knows what he needs to be saying and doing, but I
Hmm.
think he just has a hard time really meaning it. So I'm like, this dude is too much, because this is the second or third time he done said, I'm not in jail no more. I need to worry. I need to like stop thinking the way I do. Now I feel like it's time for you to stop saying it and act on it. I get it. He,
Absolutely.
he
I
hasn't been out
totally agree
long.
with you. I feel like that keeps coming up as his excuse every time he
Yeah,
behaves poorly.
yeah,
But you got to let the jail thing go because you weren't in jail your entire life.
yeah.
Just like
And
when he
I'm
couldn't fold clothes. I'm like, so are you saying even when you were free before, you never folded clothes? That also bothered me too.
yeah.
I'm
I
sorry,
mean,
I had to jump in there.
oh, you good. But I mean, I get it. It hasn't been long. So I feel like everybody's tiptoeing around his little personality, but
Mhm.
you can't let that be the thing that's making you tear them apart and make her family feel uncomfortable. Because I know them kids got to feel uncomfortable. So it's like he needs to actually stop saying and do at this point, because he's not a kid. You know what I'm saying? Like he's
Right.
not Harry's age.
Yeah.
He's not a little 20-something year old. Like you're old enough to know, like, okay, I might be upset about this, but if anything, walk away for a second. Like I'd have more respect if you put yourself in to say something or do something, like walk away for a second, get your mind together, and then come back and be like, okay, this is how I feel about this, or just talk about it. But it seems like he's just too emotional and too angry and too much wanting too much control too fast. Because I agree, he doesn't have a defined position, and she needs to stop being a little pushover and figure out what she wants to do in her household too. But because either you're gonna stand up to him or you're gonna stand up for your sister. You know, stand up. You know what I'm saying? She
Yeah.
gotta stand up for what's right. But she's like, everybody's right in her eyes, and everybody's not right, or
Mm,
everybody's opinion matters, but everybody can't have a say, because everybody say is different. The kids have their little opinions that they keep outbursting, and she don't correct them. The sister may have said things that she hasn't stopped. He said things she ain't stopped. So it's like, to
correct.
me, she's the problem at the end of the day. But she's being like a pushover, and crying ain't gonna get you no sympathy from either one of them, obviously. So you need to figure out your life.
Yeah, that's the only thing she's figured out is how to cry when there's turmoil in the house.
Yeah, and obviously that's not working, because she's done that already too, and nobody's cared. So it's like, okay, it's okay to cry because you're upset, but at that point, like, now sit down and stop letting them tell you whatever. Tell them how you feel. Like, no, don't talk to my sister this way, because when she had went and told the sister he feels bad, he apologized. Unless he did it off camera, he hadn't apologized at that point. But you
No,
know,
he started an apology, but then he brought up something else against the sister, which is not a real apology. If I'm going to apologize, I need to apologize for my actions, not try to bring up some other actions. Reese,
yeah,
I'm sorry, but you did call me, a name the other. Like that's not an apology.
yeah,
And that's what he did. He apologized, but then he was like, if she can run away so easily, then something like maybe she wasn't meant to be in your life or something. I'm like,
yeah.
her
That's
sister?
stupid. Yeah, that
Her
was stupid.
sister? Are you
Yeah.
crazy?
She could run away so easy. She was frustrated. Like, what else
Yeah.
is she supposed to do? She could fight you. You can end up back in jail. She can end up in jail, or she can just remove herself from the situation temporarily, and that's what she did. And I
Mm-hmm.
think that was the most adult thing to do, because
Mm-hmm.
they were home. It ain't like she did it when the kids were by themselves or something. She did it when they were home. She was like, "Okay, I'm not gonna deal with this." And she got in her car and she left. And I think that was the most mature thing to do
Mm-hmm.
until everybody calmed down. And then, oh, one last thing, I did like the fact that he started seeing how much his sister did when she was gone, so he could shut up. Cause I'm
Mhm.
like, okay, now that y'all got to do everything, both of y'all actually feeling it, and I'm like, that's what you get for letting him pick on your sister, and that's what you get for thinking that y'all do everything and she just sit in her room. So, but
Mhm.
that's all I got.
Absolutely. Hey, Sean, any thoughts?
Oh, he went first.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. You know what? I'm so used to him going last. Sean always waits and lets his come out last. That for a second. Okay. So next we have Bronwyn, and I call him Charlie. His name is Chaz, or that's what they're saying for the show. Okay, so we see them. They're on their way to go get married. And so while they're in the car riding down there, Charlie gives her items that he had bought for her, right? So he got her a sweatsuit, he got her some Uggs, he got her some jewelry, and a credit card. And so he hands her his wallet and is like, there's a card in there for you. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't Bronwyn just do time for identity theft? And you are handing her your wallet with
Yep.
credit cards and social security numbers and everything on it. Like, no. Like, no. Every time, like, my wallet would not come out until I've made it home and there's a safe there, and I stick in my purse
She got
and my
multiple
wallet
times.
in that safe. And it's going to be locked, and I'm going to put a chain around it, you know?
Yeah, she got
Like,
multiple charges of that.
mhm. And so they go to a park and they get married in sweats. Which I mean, I can appreciate that. Y'all just wanted to be super casual, you know. And I'm like, okay, y'all get married in your sweatsuits. That's cool, you know. It's not about a big production. It's just about you two being together, right? And so they head to the PO's office because she's on parole. She's been released, but she's on parole. And so we find out she is going to be living in her best friend's baby daddy's house is where she's going to live at. And she has a 6 p.m. curfew. So during the day, you know, she can't go out past 6 p.m., has to be at the house by 6 p.m. Alrighty. And so naturally, he just got married to this woman. He's been in a relationship with this woman, I think they said for 2 years. So, of course, you can tell he wants to consummate this marriage, which is only natural. And she's like, well, no, you can't spend the night there. So my thing was, y'all go get a room, go get it in, right? I don't but they go over to the house. You know, she allows him to come in. You know, they make their way back to her bedroom. I thought then that might be about to get a little quickie in, but no. You know, she sticks firm with it. You know, we can't do anything here. They kiss a little bit. Um, it seemed a little awkward, but then Bronwyn did say, like in her confessionals, um, it's still, I guess, new to her or whatever. You know, she just needs more time to get more comfortable with him. All right, and so they just end up basically being in the bed and cuddling at her new place. All right, so let me hear you guys' thoughts on Bronwyn and Charlie.
Man, I thought you was gonna say something about that cat hair all over her.
Oh yes, all over that sweatsuit.
Yeah, I was
I was
like,
like,
ugh,
let me see her
that would
hold
have turned
that.
me off right there. Like, I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna get romantic and all this cat hair. And I was just thinking about, she was like, she wanted to go take a bubble bath. And I'm like, but then you'll get right back in that cat hair. Like, oh my gosh, there's so
Mhm.
much cat hair.
Yeah.
Like she like looked like a little cat herself by the time she freaking got up, because it stuck to all that black. I was like,
Mhm.
OMG, that is
And
too much
I
hair.
didn't even see her holding the cat like that.
No, she
Like,
didn't. That
oh,
mean that cat been in that room.
I didn't
Yeah.
think about it that way. When I saw the hair, I was like, dang, why was she holding the cat like this? Because it was all up by the top of her. Oh,
No, when people have cats, because I remember that back when we were younger and had cats, like that cat hair is like ridiculous. Like it'll be on everything. And for it to be on her that much, especially if you're wearing black, it's gonna show, it's gonna get
yeah.
on you. But for it to
Cat
be
hair is
that
not
much, I mean
aesthetic.
that cat probably hangs out in that room too. And I'm like, oh, that's too much cat hair. Like that was ridiculous. Like the more she laid, it was like it just was all over her outfit. I was like, ooh, because
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I always think about that whenever I'm somewhere where a lot of cat hair is, because I'm like, dude,
Mm-hmm.
it's gonna be all on your skin, and you take a bath and try to get comfy, then you still got hair all over you. Like, I don't know. And then I'm thinking the cat hairs in her hair. But anyway, outside of that, like, I still think they're my favorite, and I still think they're cute, and I still think both of them are genuine so far. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
I agree. I wouldn't have gave her my whole wallet. I don't even know if I would have gave her that credit card until after she got out and we in the same house, probably.
Mm-hmm.
Because I wouldn't. I don't know. I need to have more tabs on what she's doing with my money, but um, yeah. Unless it's like a prepaid card, maybe maybe a prepaid card I would give her and let her have. I
Mm-hmm.
put money on it, and that's it.
Yeah, I
One
think
thing.
it may have been like a prepaid
Okay.
card because he said it was like only $20 on it, but he'll add more later.
Oh, okay.
I
Okay. Well, prepaid, cool, but yeah, she wouldn't have had my wallet, and I think he kind of wanted her to see his military ID. I think that was what that was about, because she liked the fact that he was a Marine, and because she was like,
yeah,
yeah, there's my military ID, and like
too much
whatever. Good.
information is on that military ID. He should have had that in a different wallet. So
Yeah, so I guess he was trying to be all like, yeah, remember I'm a Marine now, I'm a Marine, but it's like, shut up, she already know that. I still think they're cute, and
yeah.
it was like the little quick wedding thing, whatever, cool. I thought he had a hotel already, so I was surprised they didn't go there first and then took her back to her to her place. But
Yeah, he had a hotel because he
yeah,
was there in the last episode, right?
yeah. And so I don't know why they went straight there or whatever, but whatever the case may be, it's probably for the best because she's not comfortable yet. And that
Mm-hmm.
makes sense, like, yeah, it's been a while for her and it's been a while for him, but if she still hasn't gotten out of that, it ain't that sexual connection's not there yet, then she just need more time. I'm sure
Yeah,
she'll get there since that's her husband. But I can understand, and then she's insecure about her body too, so it's like it
yeah,
makes sense. If she
yeah.
said she
So I
gained the weight.
totally, yeah, understood that. And like, yeah, you gained some weight,
Yeah, she probably is the first person out of all the people who I understood why. I felt bad for him because he was like, well, whatever she decides she wants to do or whatever we do, it's
Mm-hmm.
okay. Like, I don't think it was 100% okay, but I think it's still okay. Like, he's not angry, he's just disappointed because he really
Right.
wanted some. And for him, she probably is the most beautiful thing he's ever seen, and her body doesn't matter to him. But
Mm,
you know, the fact that he didn't get a attitude or push it was respectful to me because I mean, he's gonna just wait till he gets it, and if it's 4 months, I think he's still gonna be fine. But it might end up being longer than that because if they ain't together for 4 months, she still got to get used to being around him intimately. So I don't know. Who knows when they're gonna consummate it? But either way, they're still my favorite right now, and I think they're cute.
yeah.
I just hated that cat hair for her. I'm like, ew, she needs to go somewhere else.
Absolutely. Any other?
Um,
uh,
I thought, I think his insecurities are what's making her uncomfortable. Because how much more does she have to do to comfort his insecurities? And I think and you could tell she was getting annoyed. Now, granted, I don't really understand the dynamic of that would be like me and Nene goes and stays with my baby daddy.
Yeah, and it was
I
like
mean,
she was
that
trying to push
I
it so
don't understand
hard.
that dynamic. Yeah,
Yeah,
like
and it was like
I'd
she was
be
trying to
like,
push it so hard. We would never. But for the most part, you're never alone like with it. That's like you said, me going to sin with your baby daddy, and I'm like, we would never. Yeah, because we've never lived in the same quarters together. Not
yeah,
to
you
say
never
I
lived
would. You
together.
don't know with that situation like that. Yeah,
And then for him to already set these rules that she can't screw people in his house, like that just seemed a little off to me. And I was just kind of like, okay, I'm confused because I thought she was staying with them, like them as a couple, not just him by himself. So I was like, okay, this is a little weird, but she's being honest with him. She's being upfront with him about what the situation is. I do really feel like she likes him, but I think he's making her uncomfortable with the constant being reassured
mm,
that, you want me. You want me though, right? And the kissing and the kissing with the tongue first, like that just freaks me out.
yeah,
Like who does that? Who licks your mouth first before the
Yeah,
kiss? Like that's a gradual thing, not a first thing you come at me with.
yeah. Now
like
that
the
kid
tongue
would have
straight
been
out the
like,
mouth.
you
Yeah.
know,
And you could tell she was like, oh.
yeah,
And when a woman doesn't feel sexy about herself, it is hard to
yeah,
um jump into that, you know? So she
Yeah,
has a
you don't
lot of
want.
valid issues while
She
you're while you're
does.
while you're
It,
just like, oh, and she's probably never used to being that big. You can tell she's a very pretty, very, very attractive lady.
yeah,
So her it could be her mindset that, you know, she's just not where she's used to being. She really wants to be with this guy, but he's gotta bring it down a little bit. I understand she's so out your league, but bring it down. Bring
yeah,
it down, homie, because she ain't gonna you're gonna push her away more with her having to constantly reassure you than
right.
you just kind of letting it go with the flow.
Right. So let me ask you a question because I felt bad for her when she was saying, basically, that's where she had to go. So she had nowhere else to go. And that kind of made me feel sad for her that she didn't have anywhere else to go other than the baby daddy's house. I don't
Hmm.
know. Did anybody else feel bad for it? Or am I just being too
I
much
didn't
of
really think about that, but you're right.
Yeah,
That
like
does suck.
where's her family? I guess I didn't understand where her family was. How did it get to the point where you have nobody? Did she fraud everybody in her life? Like,
right? Like
it's
what
kind of
happened?
made you ask a bunch of questions like, how is it no one else is there to help you? How many bridges did you burn? That's a lot of bridges to burn. Like your own parents? Even
Right.
Ray Dean's parents keep letting her back in and they know how trifling she is. Like,
And
goodness
that is very
gracious.
true. Her dad keeps bringing it up in a way that's starting to become a little uncomfortable.
Creepy, right? Like the
Yeah,
virgin comment. I'm sorry, I know we're not talking about
yeah,
them, but that virgin comment just totally threw me. I'd freak out if my dad referred to my virginity. Oh, you lost
right.
that a long time ago.
Mhm. Yeah. And it was like the way he said it too.
Yeah, like
Like,
he was there a part of it. Like he watched
yeah,
it.
yeah.
Weirdo. But anyways, back to her. I just hope she gets more comfortable with herself, comfortable with the situation. And I think because her curfew was 6, I think that's why she wasn't trying to go to the hotel so fast, because they wouldn't have had enough time to get to the hotel, do and then come back. Maybe she actually does want to take a shower before she has sex with her partner,
Mhm.
unlike Antonio and, oh girl, that was nasty too. I swear
Uh,
these themes of these shows, that they just always have a theme. So, anyways, that's all I have to say. I still am rooting for him, but I really want him to calm it down a little bit. If you watch
so,
this, just bring it
ugh.
down. Just bring it down a little bit.
So what about the cat hair? Do you have anything to say about that
I
cat
didn't know what that was because he has a black cat and that
hair?
was a lot of white hair.
Yes, that
So
is true.
I wasn't sure if that was her hair coming out of her wig or what. I didn't know what that was. Was
No,
it
that was
from the
cat hair.
car? I didn't know what it was. I had no idea it was cat hair because I was like, I only saw a black cat. So I didn't know black cats shed white hair.
It probably has white hair too.
Yeah, I think some of them they have it mixed in. They have black and white hair mixed in.
Yeah, but
Green.
that was an all black cat because he was hiding under the thing and he was all black.
Yeah, so I don't know.
So I
It
didn't
just
know that that was cat hair. I didn't. I had no idea where that came
Yeah,
from.
that was cat hair. Trust me, I know that when I see it because I just seen too many times with cat hair be on people, and I'm always like cautious of that. If I go to people's houses and they have cats, I'm like, ooh, I'm gonna have cat hair on me.
Yeah, because but see, he didn't have it, so it can't be on the
He had
bed.
it. It was getting on
He
him. It
did.
just you saw it more on her. Yeah,
Okay,
it was
because
getting
they
on
both
him
had
too.
on black.
Yeah, it was on him too. It's just you saw it a lot on her.
yeah, and it
Okay.
was also funny to me when she flopped on the bed, like, oh my god, I can't wait for the bed, and it didn't.
It was one of those hard sinks.
Yeah, I was like,
Like, you know, that wasn't foam. That ain't the foam mattress. Because then you just kind of like, oh,
You know, and I think that's why she had more hair on hers because she kind of flopped around where he just laid in that one spot.
yeah. And then how? And then she had to hold him and cuddle because he's so little. Oh, poor thing. But good luck. Just stop with your insecurities. And you got her. She's married you. Just be in the moment, and hopefully she'll fall. You know, she'll feel more comfortable.
yeah,
I think that's what's making her way more uncomfortable because he's needing the reassurance too much, and that gets annoying.
yeah.
Very annoying.
I definitely understand that. All right, so Sean, what were your thoughts on Charlie? I was about to call him Chaz. Charlie and Bronwyn.
Well, Chaz didn't care about the cat hair because Chaz is a cat person, so that wouldn't bother him.
Oh yes, I
That's
forgot about
right.
that. He's
He
got like
is.
4 or 5 cats,
Right. So
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 maybe that's from him because he's the one who bought her the outfit. Maybe it's from his car.
that's a
or his
possibility.
cats.
Yeah,
Maybe the
his
cats
cat.
rolled around in the buggy. You know how cats will
Yeah.
do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just went back and looked. Like there is a little bit of hair, but I think it's a combination of both because she don't have as much hair on her as she do in their bed that she do right now. Like when she just went to
Hmm.
see her PO, but she do have some hair on her, so it's probably
Mhm.
some in his car.
Mm. So
Okay.
yeah, so that probably made him want her even the most so because she had on all that cat hair.
You
You know,
reminded him of home,
yeah.
the cat ass.
Mhm. And then the insecure thing, uh, yeah, she's out of his league to him, but he needs to be ensured that he is the one because he because he is insecure. He don't know because he's like, well, as soon as she see him, she might want somebody else. He's gonna be gone for 4 months. They're not gonna see each other. So he wants, and the best way to me, they just got married. Yes, she could have gave him a quickie, and yes, she could have been like, you see, you don't want, and that probably would have made him feel a little bit better about the
Yeah.
situation. Yeah, I didn't. Well, once when Johnny had used Nene as his example of like that would be like her staying at your baby daddy's house, and then I was like, well, y'all two's tight, and then uh, Nene would never sleep with your guy because she wouldn't do that. Uh, okay, because I was waiting for you to say right, so she wouldn't do that. And since she would,
I was thinking of a smart ass comment in my head, like you ain't seen my baby daddy though, but
uh,
no, she wouldn't
well,
do that.
well, since she wouldn't do that, but now Nene's my girl, so she would have to convince me. Now she would do that, and Nene know that she would do that, but I won't know that Nene would do that. So that situation to me kind of looked weird. The fact that she's going to be staying with a boy for 4 months, and he know that she just got married, and he wouldn't give them a chance to at least have sex before he leaves, because he should know that the guy was going to be leaving too, that he's not going to be there, and it's just that she's going to be there by herself. So that was an opportunity for the new roommate to be like, well, yeah, maybe just one time since this is y'all last night together, I'll just leave. Y'all can have the place to yourself, and y'all can do what y'all gonna do. But then when I come back, y'all can't do that no more. Or if I make arrangements to where he can come and visit for the weekend, you know, and he'll just move the baby daddy, will just leave and let them at the place. Because to me, it sounds like that ain't no sex means no sex, unless the sex is gonna be with him. Now that's in my mind. Of my with thinking like him being insecure, and then also probably thinking that yeah, something just ain't this is just not right, because he probably still think he's in a fairy tale himself, that oh, why would this woman wants to be with me, because a dude is a dork. He's just a nerd, and nerds don't get the girl. So he's a nerd that got the girl, so now he needs to make sure that okay, yeah, this is not real. This is not real. So yes, she has a big part of helping him deal with that insecurity thing. That's my take on that. Now the marriage thing, when they got married, uh, when she went into the bathroom and she said that bathroom was filthy, worse than prison. The first thing came to my mind was Nicole in the
Yeah,
bathroom and how they did their thing. But I was
but
like, well,
Nicole seemed comfortable in that nasty bathroom. I wouldn't.
right, yeah, yeah. So I guess her bathrooms are not as filthy as um, the public bathroom or whatever it was. But I said glad that she didn't have to put on no dress. They just went into the jumpsuit. So I could imagine taking off the jumpsuit and sweat and throw it on the floor. And she wound up throwing that thing away. So at least she didn't have to touch that old filthy floor in the bathroom. And then when they went out there and got married outside in Run DMC jumpsuits, I was like, okay, that's nice. That was nice. The whole scene was nice. And but Oh, the car when he gave her the credit cards and stuff. Yeah, I think I would have waited a little bit too until we both was in our own place. But then on the other hand, seeing how they're married and he wants to take care of his wife, yeah, and she's not going to be able to work because to me, if your curfew's at 6 o'clock, there's not too many jobs she's going to be able to find straight out of prison to where
Right.
she's going to be able to get a 9 to 5, and then the job had to be close enough to where she can get home before 6 o'clock. So I don't think that was fair of the parole officers to do that on her like that. So maybe they can work something out. Or hopefully maybe she can get a job from the house, but she's gonna need some money. So the fact that he gave her a card that way he can put money on the card, I was like, well, that was nice of him to do that. But he trusts her, so yeah, and when you trust someone, you do stuff like that. Now, the uh, she doesn't feel. She still feels like he's brand new. She's not doesn't seem like she's as attracted to him as maybe she thought she was going to be. Um, uh, but my thing is that you've made this contact with him for 2 years. Y'all been talking for 2 years. So if not the physical attraction, there should be some type of attraction there because y'all done made the emotional connection and whatever other type of verbal attraction and all that type of stuff. So the physical is probably what the insecure part of him is because he knows that he's not that dude. He's not a 10. He's not an 8. He's not a 7. Probably don't think he's a 5. He probably thinks of himself as a 5 or lower. So for her to make that comment, even though he didn't hear it, for her to feel that way, maybe he senses that too, and then that also adds to his insecurity. And
Something else I thought about too? He has now met her ex. So what if he's feeling some insecurity because he's seen her ex and they look completely different physically? So he may be feeling some way like, is that what she's into and she's not going to be into me because we look
yeah,
different?
because
Yeah,
isn't the
but
ex living there too?
I'm sorry.
Don't the ex live in that city?
oh, he lives there, yeah, at the city.
Oh yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
'cause
he's
he
worried
rode
about
with her.
him contacting her again or whatever. But to also go back on what you were saying about the physical attraction, I don't think it was the physical attraction that she was worried about because she's
Uh,
already seen him in person. It
oh,
was
okay.
she thought their chemistry would be better in person, and it's not. Like something's missing, and that's where she's like kind of struggling because the chemistry isn't matching what they had when they were on the phone all the time. Their chemistry
Okay.
is missing in person
Yeah. Well, I
because
guess
she's
that
already
could be.
seen him. She knew what he looked like in person, and she knew he was shorter than her and all that kind of stuff. So she already
Right.
knew all that.
So with that being said, she know all that. Then how could the chemistry be missing?
I
Because
don't know.
everything, because all the formula is there. All the thing is different is that she is available to more stuff on the outside.
Well, you know what? I can kind of understand where the chemistry could be off because he visited her in prison, and those visits they only get so long to be together. Now she's been with him for several hours, and maybe it's not feeling the same way that it felt, in those 30-minute or hour-long visits. That's
And
what
then too, they can't touch, right? Like they can't
happened.
touch in prison, right? So maybe the touching isn't
Yeah.
what she thought it would be.
Ooh,
You
that's
know,
not good.
she thought she was gonna get like nice man grip, even though they're small, and maybe she getting little boy peep.
No, I don't think that's
So,
it.
so if that's the case, then,
I don't think
then
You're
that's
she
saying
it.
if
shouldn't
he
do that.
feels like little person hands
I
instead
Yeah,
of
don't think
big
that's
person.
it. I don't
she
think
thought
that's
she was
it.
getting this, and she's getting this.
I don't think that's it. I think it's just the fact that like they've never been intimate ever, and it's like she married him. She said she married him because she wanted him to know like I'm dedicated to you, and that's the reason she was going ahead and marrying him because it's not like she could leave sooner than 4 months, and she's doing everything to make him feel secure. But I guess when they connected, that instant like spark just ain't there, and she still feels like he's somebody she just met physically, or when it comes to that, even though they've already been like, so she's not uncomfortable with him. She just don't feel that that sexual connection yet, but she didn't say like this ain't gonna work because I don't feel it. You know what I mean? Like I think she feel like it's just gonna take time. She'll get there, but right now she's insecure in her own body. Plus, she isn't like sexually connected to him yet.
So the fact that she's insecure in her own body,
Mm.
uh, he has no control over that.
No, he
So
can't control
with
that.
that, yeah. So with that being that he have no control over that, she got 4 months, and they're not going to be together in those 4 months. So they're not going to get that physical attraction thing going on.
They're not, but once they get together, it's just gonna have to happen. And if it don't work, then that's gonna suck for him.
Well,
Yeah,
he's
it
gonna
is
have to
because
keep
But that's the
traveling
thing
to
is,
see him.
just because a person isn't like physically, sexually attracted, doesn't mean that she can't get there. She just isn't there yet.
She's not there yet. And then she has to feel comfortable with herself. And that too is a pressure that she could possibly be feeling as well, is like, you have me on this high ass pedestal and I'm not even where I thought I was, like he's talking about how beautiful she is and this, that, and the other, but she doesn't feel it, and that is a pressure too, because it's like, okay, well, if I take off my clothes, will he still find me beautiful? She's probably has a lot of mental going on more so than anything.
I
And
think
that could be a
yes,
lot.
that's the difference with men and women. Like
Mm.
men don't see that like that.
you're
It's
right.
a
I don't see that
no, I'm saying, but
because
it's
Yeah,
an
we see what
extreme.
y'all
Like
see all the time, and
it's a
yeah,
I
completely different mental thing. Like
right,
Yeah.
you know what I
right.
mean? Like
So with that
you
being
can a person can
said,
say you look beautiful all day long, but if you don't feel beautiful, then you're not going. That is cute and it's helpful, but it's not gonna change your opinion of yourself.
you're right.
Yeah.
boy, y'all suck. Y'all suck. Oh, oh.
If we all thought the same, it wouldn't work. It wouldn't work because if
Right.
everybody walked around and everybody be walking around, nobody takes showers, nobody care about their appearance. We'd all just be grunting, farting, and burping, and it just wouldn't even be a cute world.
Right.
No, Quentin.
Right.
No, give me my moment. Don't move from this spot, Nene. You just stay here for 2 minutes. I need 2 minutes of silence because y'all females suck. Um,
No, how
Oh,
about
I thought
men?
you was
Look,
going somewhere else with that, Sean. I was like, 2 minutes? Are you really?
look, no. How about men suck because men
I
can't
said, give
understand
me
like
my
there's
two
something other
minutes
than
of silence. That's all I need.
sex
Just
ain't an
give me
You
2
emotion.
minutes.
Like you
know
agree,
2
what?
some
But
minutes.
think
girls
about
is
what you
not
just
ready.
2
said.
minutes.
You
2
only
minutes.
need 2 minutes of silence. And I thought you were about to say
All
something
right.
else. I'm like, wait a
Give
minute.
me
Two
1 minute
minutes of
then. Give me
silence.
1 minute. All right. No
You
two
being
pumps.
extra. Can
1
we
minute.
move on before we be on this show for 7 hours?
No. No.
Yes, we
I
need to
want
move
my
on. Well,
moment.
then
I
I'm gonna
want my
keep
moment.
talking because this is what I'm
I
talking about right now. For
want.
a man to act like this because a woman says she's insecure, like this is the part that I don't get. Like this is what makes us completely different. This is what make men not make sense. Like he's been so extra because the girl don't want to have sex. Like, is that the only thing that's important? Like, I feel
Right,
like
and
them cuddling and all that and getting to know each
that
other is
should be
important too.
enough. I mean,
That's
she had him wrapped up in her arms. Like
yeah,
he should have felt secure with that.
yeah. Oh,
Just
and
lay
I did
your
go
head on
back
that
and look.
bosom and just
I
enjoy
did go
life.
back and
This
look
is
because y'all know I'm
fun.
the queen of go back and look. And oh my god, there was cat hair all over that bed when she laid
Oh,
down. Like
Reese
I
can't
was
look
really
at her.
trying to see because I was like, you know what? It makes sense that some cat hair came from his car. And it was hair on her prior too, but when she laid down, there wasn't a lot. And when they showed her again, her arm was covered. And they showed the corner of the bed, and there was a ton of cat hair right there. So I think that cat hangs out on that side of the bed.
Mm.
Like it was so much cat hair. I'm like, oh my god, this is too much cat hair for me.
All right, so let's jump into Kevin and Tiffany this week, okay? So we see that Tiffany, she's meeting up with her friend, with, an old friend at a tattoo parlor. And so she tells this friend about the fight that happened. And so her friend has been watching us guys because she called Curtis. She's like, Curtis with a K is known for starting mess on Facebook.
Wait, she said that?
Yeah, she said Curtis with a K. She did.
She sure did.
Yes. So the friend says that, he starts arguments all the time on Facebook. So clearly he's a hothead that can't fight. He's a keyboard gangster. He likes talking trash on the internet. Okay. And so Tiffany reveals that she's blocked Kevin on social media. Not Kevin, Curtis. And so then we see the producers giving Tiffany flowers in her confessional and says it's from Curtis. Now, I guess clearly the card either had an image that wasn't appropriate or it was a cuss word. I'm thinking it was a cuss word. It was probably like fuck off or something like that on
Yeah,
the
it's
front of
F
the card.
word.
They blurred it, right? And so we see that now Tiffany is back at Kevin's house and she's trying to make space for her things. It's funny. So Kevin cleared out like one drawer for her. She kind of tried to let him know in a nice way, like that's not going to be enough room. But he cleared out the one cabinet and walked out the room. All right. And so Kevin suggests that they take the dogs on a walk. They tell her it'll probably be good for her. It's been a long time since she just walked down the street. And so they do. They go and they take the dogs on a walk. And Kevin's phone, like Kevin's messing with the phone. The phone's been dinging. So she asked him, like, who is that? Who are you texting? And it turns into an argument. And the one thing about their argument, the first thing that bothered me about it was Kevin was acting very narcissistic or whatever. He's telling her, well, who you been talking to? Like, and she said it, she was like, I just got out of jail. So, and I'm assuming she has a new phone, so she probably hasn't been, but we don't know. Maybe she's been on Facebook talking to some guys. I don't know. But he tried to throw it on her, and he also tells her she's probably not ready to hear who he's been talking to. Then he also was like, you think other women don't want me? You think other women don't want me? Right now, that is not the case. It doesn't matter if other women want you or not. It's the fact that even if other women want you, you don't act on it. But, so he was just doing that. He's making himself be the victim. So then she ends up telling him that she's leaving. She walks ahead of him to the house, locks him out the house. She packs up her stuff. Once her bag is packed, she unlocks the door and walks out the house. Oh, and then I forgot when she was walking back to the house, he was screaming out to her, like, what you gonna do? You go call Curtis? Yeah, call him so he can come over here. I can slap him around and beat his pizzazz. I figured you like that part, Reese. And so he said he's gonna slap his pizzazz around. And that was pretty much the end of their scene. We see Tiffany leaving his house. She's pulling her bag behind her, looking upset. So what thoughts do y'all have about Kevin and Tiffany this week? Any thoughts? Sean, you got any thoughts about Kevin and Tiffany?
Sean still needs a minute.
Okay,
I guess with their situation, it's because of the lack of communication that she did not provide him when she was starting to feel too nervous about meeting him, blah, 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 blah. He kept other chicks waiting or just lined up. But it's, what's funny to me? It's all exes.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not like it's new women. It's women that he just won't stop with. Which is really odd to me. I think he likes the toxicity. I think he likes the drama and the mess, and therefore he keeps it around. And he shouldn't have, my whole thing with all of that, granted, y'all aren't together, I guess. But why does she have to know? Why do you have to even answer your text messages while you're with her? You know what I'm saying? Like, that was y'all's time to bond and walk the dog. Why are you responding to a text message?
Right.
And his little man syndrome is just too big. Like, that's exhausting. She needs to, I like that she packed her stuff and left. I don't know where she gonna go, but I like that she just was like, I'm done. I'm not gonna sit here and deal with this, because she said she's dealt with cheating before. She's dealt with all of that, and she just doesn't feel like she has to, and she doesn't. So we'll see what happens, but it's all women who are exes. It's not any new women, which is just, like I said, really odd for a playboy. You should have all kinds of women, not all just your exes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he probably just let them go because then for him that's his image, like, oh, I got all these women, whether they're toxic or not. But he needs to. I don't understand. I don't understand why he didn't put his phone on silent. He knew they were going on a walk. I didn't understand any of that.
Yeah, he should have went on the walk by himself. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, I'm gonna go walk my dogs. And if she said, you want me to come? Nah, I'm good. I'm cool. Continue doing you, because she was in the middle of doing something anyway when he asked her to walk the dogs.
Those are my thoughts. So Reese and Sean, any
Well,
thoughts?
well, well.
Oh, we know he's going into left field when he does that.
Well, I was going to go back to the last thing
Okay.
because I
My
had
God.
asked you for my minute and a half,
Oh
and
my
you didn't
God.
honor my 2 minutes.
Oh
You
my
know,
God.
so that wasn't. I didn't think that was cool. But
He's so extra.
I'm gonna pass. I'm gonna pass. I'm gonna let it go. I'm gonna let it go. I'm gonna let it
Thank
go.
you.
Yeah, I'm gonna let it go. That's just cold hearted. You know what I'm saying? Like the man asked for 2 minutes, the man couldn't get 2 minutes.
For the sake of the
Well,
people that's watching.
but I'm gonna let it go. I'm gonna let it go. I'm gonna let it go. Yeah, yeah. Um, I'm sorry, I can't let it go. Go ahead on, Reese.
Oh
Oh my
my
God,
God.
we moved
That's so
on. We're talking
extra.
about Kevin and Kate.
Okay. I'll move
No,
on.
you
I'll
already
move
said
on.
go
No,
on. Let me go.
no.
Go.
I'm gonna move on. I'm gonna
Go.
move on. I'm gonna move
Oh
on.
my
So
God.
with Kevin,
Really?
Kevin, he's. I agree. I agree with Johnny, uh, and but my thing is also along with what Johnny's saying is that Kevin, yeah, if you wants to entertain your women on your text message, don't do that. Wow. Oh, sorry. I'm sorry.
Is he okay?
I think he had a phone call or something.
Oh, and one other thing.
Uh-huh.
Kevin, little man, you need to stop pretending like you just beat the
You
shit
like you're
out
a
of this
black
man.
man? Kevin needs to
No.
stop like he's a black man.
Yeah,
What?
he needs to stop. You knocked a dude out who had his hands tied behind his back by his own admission. Like he did all that on his own. But it ain't like he was fighting you when you just knocked his ass out. Like, come on. Stop making it seem like you just Mr. Big and Bad and can beat everybody's ass. You can't. You took advantage of one good shot and you got it and you're good to go. Now move on. Move on, Kevin.
No, he's gonna live in his moment of fame. You know. But yeah, because if you're on the phone, you knew you got all these here women. My thing was like last week when they were supposed to had do their clean start because they was in the bed, and she's like, no new drama. And he was like, yeah, no new drama. Was if we got everything all clean start. That's right there. He should have deleted his phone messages, or if you're not going to delete all the women out of your phone, like Johnny was saying, no need to answer the phone while you with your woman. If you're going to be a player, be a player. Do your stuff in the dark. Don't try to sit up here and think that, oh, okay, I can hide in plain sight, because obviously she wants to know what you're doing, and
Yeah.
then when she asks what you're doing, lie. Don't tell the truth.
It's like he wants her to know there
Right,
are other women in the picture.
There are other
It's like
women.
his ego,
right.
like Johnny said, it's his ego. And he
hmm
refuses to knock it off.
And too, while he was sitting up there throwing the whole shade, saying that, oh, well, what about Curtis with the K? All of that, kept on bringing that up, and I was holding on to these here women because you didn't answer me while you was at the halfway house. I was like, man, good and well, you had those women.
Yeah, he was just bringing up stuff. It,
Uh-huh.
what do you call it? Reverse psychology mess on her. It's basically what he was doing. And it was
Yeah,
aggravating me. I was like,
that's it. No, that's
if
Yeah,
it.
you knew you still had a problem with the fact that she ever called Curtis up, why is this woman at your house then?
Yeah,
exactly. Because
yeah.
he wants to be able to keep hovering it over her.
And that's what he's gonna do. Every time she catch him in something, why you left the toilet seat up? Oh, you got a problem with me leaving the toilet seat
Why
up?
don't you
What you
ask
gonna do?
Curtis?
Yeah.
Bring him over here so I can beat on him some more. Like
uh,
Johnny, you got one good lick in on him, and now you think you're
that's it. And the only
the
reason why
street
you got the
fighter
lick
of the
is
year.
because the dude was stupid enough to lean forward
He
and let you
leaned
hit him.
forward and put his hands behind his back. It was not no great knockout, like, ooh, little man can
Mhm.
fight. Look at little Mighty Mouse. Go, Mighty
Yeah.
Mouse, go.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
they didn't even tussle before that happened. He just hit him. And
Mhm.
so, what did you
Uh,
really
so
prove?
So yeah, so Kevin, yeah, let it go. If you wants to be my thing opinion, the only people if you want to be in a committed relationship, you need to let go of the women If you're a man, let go all the women that's in your phone. Woman, let go all the men that's in your phone, and commit to that individual that you wants to be with. And then if that do not work, then move on. Or if you see that it's not working, then maybe bring somebody in so that you can always have something to go to. Like, say about a job, the best way to find a new job is when you have one. Don't wait till you get quit and then go look for a new job. But in a relationship, I take that back. In a relationship, stay with that person. If it don't work out, let that person go. Then go ahead on and find you someone else. Don't be playing games. You know, uh, so if you want to be a player, be a player. If you want to be in a committed relationship, be in a committed relationship. And if you wants to be a player, try to play better games than what Kevin was doing, because Kevin, you're not playing the right games. So like I said, you just want her to know so that you can throw it in her face, so that you can try to make her feel bad about herself and whatever he wants to do to her, so that you can feel like the bigger man. And but that's not cool. That's not cool.
And it's the control aspect too, because he feels like since she has nowhere to go, he can constantly keep disrespecting her like that too, and that she's just going to sit there and take it because
Yeah.
she's living with him. She paroled to his house. So, but like I said, the fact that I thought that was funny when she locked him out.
Yeah.
I know, I'm sorry, I should laugh, but that was hilarious because he totally was kind of like, oh no, she didn't lock me out my house. Yeah, she did. And she packed her stuff and she walked right on out and walked right on around the corner. Don't know where she going, but she just letting him know, like, I'm not the one.
Yeah, yeah. And then, like I say, the control thing, because that's why I don't think people that's coming out of prison should parole to someone house that's you're not in a committed relationship with,
Right.
or if you're not a family member with, because this complete stranger, even though they've known each other, however they've been talking to each other back and forward,
Yeah.
at the moment, at the dime, drop of a dime, you'd be like, hey,
Yeah.
you got.
Yeah. But like this last time that she ran over there with him, she ran over there for the wrong reasons. Because remember when she was talking to her friend, and her friend was like, well, who did you leave with? And she was like, the person that won the fight, of course. So
Yeah.
like,
Oh. Well, when I had told you all that 2 weeks ago, y'all claimed that I wouldn't just leave with the man
who
that won.
did? Who
All
did?
three of y'all know.
No,
Yeah.
we didn't say that. We
I'm
said
gonna look
Oh,
man,
you know
who
what?
left
say?
with Kevin. I mean,
Say
he's in
that.
the
We
love with
didn't say
Curtis.
that.
Curtis
Y'all know
like sitting there laying on the floor, rolling around
You
like
know
won
what?
the fight.
Lisa,
You know it.
we gonna excuse him right now because he's still upset about the 2 minutes.
yeah.
You doggone right. I'm upset about my 2 minutes, but I moved
Hold
on.
on,
You
but
the
we
one that
never
brought it
said
back up.
like
You see that?
she shouldn't have left. We said maybe that ain't why she left with him, but we never said that. Oh, that can't be why.
Well, you see, you
We
got to
wouldn't
go
do
back
that.
to my roots.
Yeah, we were not
Until you do
adamant
right
that
by
that was
me.
the reason.
Until you do right by me. Until you do right
You're
by me.
right, but you know what?
Until
You
you
were
do
taking
right
it
by
too
me.
far. Now you
Until
quote
you, hey,
the color
somebody
purple.
put their fingers up here
Really, Alice
until he
Walker?
gets his memory
Alice
back
Walker
together.
over there? Okay.
Until you stop having Alzheimer's and saying that we said something that we didn't say.
All right, now.
Till you
Next
stop
time,
passing out the 2 minutes of
don't worry.
demand.
I
I'm
think I've
what
been
you
on here
call
long enough that y'all should recognize my sarcasm.
it.
Mm,
You wasn't sarcasm. That was you.
He
No, I
emotional,
said
boy.
no, you're
Boy.
right. You know what, Sean, you're right. I said I would have given Curtis another chance because he did make himself get knocked out. I give him another
You the
chance.
it
only
was
one
his
that said
fault.
that though.
It
Because
was
ain't
his
no
fault.
way.
You know what? He doesn't
He
even
looks
remember
stupid.
because
He
he
did
was
that
too
to
busy.
himself.
Look, he doesn't remember what was said because he was too busy trying to make it seem like Curtis just got attacked and he needed to call the police. Remember, he
Yeah,
doesn't know what
Oh
was said.
yeah, you're right.
that's
And then
right.
the part
You know
that was
what?
also crazy with that is the fact that he does this on a regular, that he
Yeah.
starts mess. Like you said, he's an
Yeah,
internet thug.
Yeah.
right.
So that's just annoying in itself. But
Yeah,
Yeah.
but see, that is a typical internet thug. They can say all kinds of stuff on the internet, but you meet them in person, they want to scream stuff, then run and hide behind the police. No, take this butt
Yeah.
whooping.
He ain't remind the police.
Hey, you
I
know,
said I would. I
you
said I
said you
would go.
would. You said you would.
Yeah, I said
But
I
I'm just
would.
saying a typical internet thug behaves like this. That's what I said. See?
Yep.
Hmm. Hey, so
What? Just over my head. That just went over my head. So you try to say I'm an internet thug?
no, I said,
You're acting
Tiffany,
like
you consider yourself an internet thug? Wait,
she just said you acting like a typical.
Oh,
He can't
wait.
hear nothing ever since
he
we said,
don't.
"Oh,
All
Oh,
he
girl
wants
was
to do
feeling
is argue with
insecure,"
us.
my
He's
and we
acting
goodness.
like Kevin
understood.
right now. He's just trying to
Okay.
find an
My goodness.
argument.
He's so mad because a
Mm-mm-mm.
woman that feels insecure about her body should still be like, "Well, he said I look good, so let me give it up."
Yeah,
No,
let me
No,
be
I didn't say
quiet
she
for
need to
two
give it up.
minutes. Look, let
No,
me be quiet for two
no,
minutes and give
no.
it up.
I didn't
yeah,
say give it
yeah.
up. I
I
didn't
guess,
say
I
she had
guess
to
I
give it
can't
up.
feel the way I
I
feel
was
about
just getting
myself
at
because he said I look good, then I look good. So let me go ahead and lay here. That's what you want.
Yeah, let
no,
me
that ain't
ignore
what I
all
want.
these years
That
of
ain't what I was saying.
insecurities
That
and
ain't why I
bust it
was
wide
saying that
open.
Like
there.
I don't have this
Nope,
connection, but I'm gonna fake it now.
nope,
Right.
nope, nope. I'm not saying that.
So a
I
man would
wasn't
rather a
saying that.
woman fake it than be genuine.
I wasn't saying that.
Yes, you
And
need to fake
yes,
it for
uh,
2 minutes.
well,
Actually, 2 minutes.
most men don't care if you faking it or not. But for this, that's what not
But
what I
then
was
that's how
saying.
it don't last either.
That's
It'd
what I
be
was
like,
saying.
okay, that was
I wasn't
whack.
saying that though.
But that's
That's what
how
I
a
was saying.
person realizes like this
Mm-mm,
this chemistry ain't gonna come because if I had to
mm-mm.
fake it the first time, chances
Nope.
are it
That's
ain't
not what I
coming.
was saying. That's not what I was saying. What
You
I was
saying if a
trying to
person
get
had to
at,
fake it the first time, it wasn't coming?
you know what?
Go ahead, tell us how you really
No,
feel.
Like I
no,
don't
I
get
ain't
it because
nothing to
you said
say
that's
because
not what you were
I
saying.
was
After I
trying to
said
say what I
that
got to
too.
say. And I was saying what I was trying to say, but you kept on interrupting me. So let's move on. Reese,
Okay,
what
well,
you think
my
about
You
opinion
Kevin
said
on
this a
all
couple
right,
of
whatever.
times, and we
I
got
move on.
Uh,
We can move on.
no,
He
no.
gonna be like this the rest of the episode
he
anyway. So,
is, he is, because
so,
he really can't let it go. Even
so,
though he's going to.
yeah,
Look, he just
yeah,
turned his camera off on us.
whatever. So Tiffany and Kevin
Mm-hmm.
and Curtis with a K. Uh, I think I mean Curtis with a K went in this episode, but thank goodness because I'm over him, and the
Right.
fact that like supposedly he got these charges of domestic violence and he on the internet and I guess apparently that's how he shows out his fighting and all this. Like that's to me that's too much. Like a girl said, grow up. So yeah, and then for him to send her the flowers, talking about you didn't f me over, and this is how it feels like to tear somebody's heart. You know what I'm saying? It's one you can tell somebody, but don't waste your money wasting your time sending flowers and junk because that's stupid. I'll throw that card away and put them flowers and move on. Like you ain't the one that sent them to me and enjoy them flowers, like dummy. You
Oh
know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
they be
Like
at Kevin's house sitting on the coffee table.
yeah, yeah. We'll enjoy them beautiful flowers as they smell good, and you sitting here sending like you know what I'm saying, psycho notes, and I'm still gonna enjoy these flowers. Like that was
Yeah.
just dumb. Like he making himself look crazy. And then um as far as um Kevin, like I agree with Johnny. These are all exes. Like just let go of the exes. And then like Sean said, I almost didn't go along with him when he said it's just started get another relationship. Saying that like you don't want to leave a job without having a job, and I was like, wait a minute, but then he fixed that, so I was like, okay, I can go along with that. Don't get into another relationship without leaving that one because obviously that's not okay. But if he wants to be with her, he needs to let them go because, like Johnny said, those are exes. They're exes for a reason. Y'all broke up. You don't need to have them hanging on. If it ain't nothing but sex with them, then hey, cut that off. If you and Tiffany don't work, obviously y'all continue to have sex prior to. I'm sure they'll be waiting for you to come back anyway. So give Tiffany a chance to work first before you like keep them link. You know what I'm saying? Keep linking and hanging on to them. Like just let it go. See what happens. If y'all ain't, because they seem like they were meshing. So it's like if like they probably meshed the most out of everybody so far because they had the least drama when they went to the house the first night. Like as far
Mhm.
as going to sleep, waking up, neither one of them said nothing negative. Nobody was like, "Oh, better than I expected," or "Oh, it's a B." I know
Yeah.
that's, but giving them low grades and all this other stuff. Like nobody said nothing negative. So I feel like give her a chance because y'all actually have the most chemistry out of everybody as far as sexual and just getting along. But I don't know. It's like he can't let go of the other women, so I feel like he's gonna be the one that ruins it. And like Johnny said, I liked how she packed her stuff up and left to wherever she was going. I don't know because we know them producers ain't no good. They ain't gonna take her nowhere. They probably just have her
I
sitting in
know.
the van. Like you probably want to call them because you ain't got nowhere to go. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no telling how they'll set her up. So I ain't have a whole lot to say other than and then when she handed the dog over to him, little Lee, she had it like it was something nasty. Like she was like, "You could be walking your dog," and she threw him and handed him the leash like it was something nasty and just walked away. I was like, "Hey, the dog ain't do that to you." But yeah, I mean, Kevin need to get his head out his butt because honestly, I'm sure there's plenty of dudes that would talk to her too. She's not an ugly girl. Just like he's talking about what you think women don't want me. No, and you think men probably don't want her. Like I'm
Right.
sure she could find somebody else, but she decided to go with you. She left Curtis with a K for you. Move on. Like
Yeah.
you
And
won.
what is so crazy is I agree with both you and Johnny. I do like the fact that she packed up her stuff and left. It's something I wish Andy would do.
Yeah,
So I did like the fact that she packed up her stuff and was like, deuces.
yeah.
Absolutely. All right. So our next couple was Kayla and Martel. So I thought about Sean as I was watching them. They had very short clips in this episode, but what we see is Kayla meets one of Martel's cousins um, at a cleaning store because she says she wants to purchase some cleaning items so that Martel can clean up himself. So he can't complain because he has all the cleaning stuff to clean himself. Alrighty, and so her and the cousin got along well. They talked about men and living with them, and they also talked about dating ex-cons. And then at the end we see that she ended up spending $300 on cleaning supplies. And I'm like, girl, there's a Dollar Tree, a Dollar General on every corner. You could have went there and spent a lot less and got all the cleaning supplies you needed, but I don't know. Alrighty, so what were everybody's thoughts about Martell and Michaela this week?
Well, I mean, it wasn't really a lot to him other than her going to the cleaning store. I thought that was funny. But I do, and I thought it was funny that she talked about she gonna seduce him with the feather duster. Hopefully, he can take that as something funny and cute and move on. Because I mean, the feather duster is as long as it ain't been used, it's still fun, I guess, until it's either
Dirt.
touching something nasty or until it dust. Because either way, one way, if it touches something nasty, you can't use that to dust. And then, as long as you stay innocent with it, then you later on use it to dust and move on. But
Mm-hmm.
um, I don't think he gonna be running to her like, yay. I think he'd be happy she got some good cleaning supplies, although she went overboard and spent too much. She could even went to Walmart, Dollar General, wherever and got it cheaper than that. But I think it is good that she got that stuff because if he's OCD, then he's gonna need more than maybe whatever she had. And then I was looking at that stove again, and when they showed a little clip of it, and that almost looked like to me like some cigarette like ashes or something. Maybe it was really mashed potatoes, but when I saw it again, it almost looked like it was something else. But I don't know. I don't know what that would have been. I don't know if she smokes or not. But I did like the fact that the house looked a little more decorated too when they showed her
Yeah,
again.
and
I
the
don't know if she
tile,
had.
like the backsplash tile, looked
Yeah,
really shiny.
yeah.
I was
So
like,
I
oh,
think like
you better
she
get
actually took
clean.
the time and like clean a little better. And that's good. I mean, because they don't need to lose your relationship over something that petty. So hopefully it works out for him. I'm sure it's gonna be more issues like women. It's probably gonna be a bigger problem than this cleaning
Mm-hmm.
thing. But for now, at least that ain't the problem. Because the way the cousin said it, it's kind of like the mom. It just ain't reassuring that he gonna be faithful. But
Yeah,
I don't know. I guess we'll see because they, like I said, they didn't show much, but he's about to get out, so I'm assuming he'll be in the next episode. So
yeah, because they said he's getting out the next day.
yeah,
So,
so hopefully
okay,
he'll
so
be
for me, I'm just gonna throw out something really quick. Have y'all noticed that the women on this episode were either overly sexual or just weren't sexual like at all? Y'all notice that? Because she just seemed so sexual. I'm like, okay, you're talking about your man coming home. Why is there so many sexual innuendos in here?
yeah.
But maybe that's the thing he does very well. So maybe. All right, Sean. So what were your thoughts?
So who's undersexual?
It would be Brandon.
Brownwood.
Hmm.
Oh, okay.
And then we're
So
gonna get to another couple that was, I feel like, were under sexualized.
it's under. You feel like
Huh?
you feel like it's under.
Brady,
As-
Brady was the other one. Yeah.
Yeah, because I would say that would be the answer is the ones that's out of prison ain't been getting none. And the ones
Hmm.
in prison, don't want it.
True.
Yeah, because
They don't care for it or whatever.
yeah, they've been without it for so long. It really don't matter. And but the cleaning thing, yeah, I agree. Uh, could have went to any old uh, store, or could have just went to his mama house and be like, "Hey, could you give me some cleaning supplies for your son?"
Yeah.
See, you know,
I feel like Publix is known for their, they can be pricey. They could have went to Publix and still not spent $300
uh,
on us.
mhm. And too, did because she did say that she got it for him to do the cleaning. So and I like yeah, because if he's gonna trip like he is, then yeah, I have him all that stuff there and be like, okay, dude, get the cleaning. Until you find your job, get the cleaning. House need to be clean. And but the thing is, I don't know if he'd be over cleaning. So she sit down and drop a crumb, and here he come running up, cleaning up, and be like, oh, tripping. I've been spending all my time cleaning, and you come here and make a sandwich and got crumbs all over the place. But he still have all the cleaning supplies that he need. For $312, that stuff should last a long time. Yeah, that should be at least a year worth of cleaning supplies. Um, then the other thing is the cousin. I kind of like the cousin because she was having good conversation with her. And unlike the mom, I think the cousin was more trying to let her know to don't be surprised if he come out and he's not faithful. Because she said that she had a relationship with a guy that was in prison, and when he came out, it didn't work out. So she was giving her some good advice, but I don't think she's going to take it because her mind is pretty much on the sex and that everything going to work because he's going to find this job to where he can afford a $40,000 ring, and they're going to live happily ever after. So, but yeah, yeah, that was a lot of money to be on some cleaning supplies. So hopefully, old boy don't be tripping and be thinking that okay, since you bought it, you clean it. So since you're the one with the cleaning problem, then he should be the one that doing the majority of the cleaning in the house, and then that way he don't have to ever worry about the house being dirty.
Okay. Okay, interesting take on that. All right. So the next couple that we saw was Lacie and Antoine.
Yes.
I feel like I don't like either one of them for different reasons. I'm not necessarily rooting for this couple. All right. So the episode comes on, they're in bed. So this is the night after for them. Um, Antoine says he gives their sex a B. He said he did end up lasting longer than what he thought. And so I know we spoke about this a little bit before. Normally we don't talk about the episode before, but I don't know how I feel about. I'm assuming it's their overall experience is what he's given a B, or was he giving Lacy a B? That's what I was wondering. Okay, and so they wake up. She tells him she wants to cook him breakfast and asks him what does he want, and she names off some things, and he said he wanted a burrito, breakfast burrito. So she gets up and we see her cooking. Um, One of them made a statement about, I think it was Antoine said he wanted to go take a bath because apparently they did not take a bath before they got into bed that night. Um, and I'll leave my comments on that in a minute. And so she cooks him the burrito, but it looks like she didn't really cook the shell. It looks like she put his stuff on a shell that just came out the packaging. I'm like, you gotta heat that shell up. You don't just take it out the packaging. But hey, maybe you can eat it that way. I mean, if somebody knows that you can't eat it, definitely, let me know. Um, and so um, we see her while he's trying to eat breakfast. She's starting up on his mom again and talking about how his mom is a bad influence. It bothers me because I'm like, I wish she would stop that because she's going to push this man away if she keeps on attacking his mom because that's what you're doing at this point. That's his mom. If he wants to go see her, don't discourage that. If his mom is truly this bad person or whatever, he's going to see that, or maybe he won't because that's his mom again. Alrighty, and so he basically lets her know that she's taking it too far with her conversations about his mom, and he also says that there was another girl who apparently tried to cause some problems in their relationship. I hate that he didn't say what ended up happening. Did he take the side of the girl? Did he take his mom's side? Did him and the girl stay together, or was that the reason why they broke up? I kind of wanted to hear more of what happened the last time a woman tried to come between you and your mom. Alrighty. And so they actually end up going to play golf. Antoine was doing a lot of trash talking, and but once he got there, he ended up admitting he doesn't really know how to play golf. So he gets a little insecure or whatever and about playing. And Lacy says, and like in her confessional, that she's hoping that things go ahead and move along quickly, like marriage and babies. And I'm like, what is it with these women getting with men who are significantly younger than them, and they instantly want these marriages and these babies? Instantly, they come out of prison, oh, baby, 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 marriage, 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 marriage. Like, I don't understand it. Okay, and so they're driving home after they have been playing golf, and she tells him she wants to take him to a car lot to see about him getting a car. I'm thinking, he doesn't have an income. How's he going to pay a car note? So you're buying him a car, basically? And so on their way to the car lot, she has a flat. And so he admits he doesn't know how to change a tire. So she calls for assistance, like AAA or whatever. And they say it's going to take like 2 hours to come, which it does take them a long time. And so they didn't want to sit in the car for 2 hours. And so they decided to walk over to the car lot because the car lot was close enough that they could do that. They go to the car lot. And it was funny to me because I was thinking it in my head. I was like, does he have a license? And so the guy at the car lot did ask him, like, hey, do you have a license? Because Lacy did say he just got out of prison. And so Antoine's like, no, I don't have a license. And so the guy let him test drive the car around the lot, which he did. And then they go inside to, talk numbers and all of that other good stuff. And so the guy's like, is this car going to be in your name? Is it going to be in you and Lacy's name? Like, how is this going to go? So Antoine immediately is like, no, the car needs to be in Lacy's name because what if I get pulled over and they run a tag on me for some reason? It needs to be in her name. Which I understood her at this point. It's like, no, this is your car, and it's kind of like, why are you worried that somebody's going to run it if you're not doing anything? If you don't plan on doing anything bad, why would you worry about your name being on it and them running it? So I totally got where she was coming from when she didn't want to put the car in her name. But my thing is, he can't pay for the car, so it's got to be Lacy paying for the car per month. Now, she did say she was going to help him out with the down payment. But if you're helping to pay for the car, he could just take off with that car whenever he wanted to. And you're the one who has basically financed this car for him. So, in a way, I can see it both ways. But then at the same time, why are you helping somebody that you are worried about them doing something bad? He lives in your house, but you are worried about him doing something bad with his car. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking too much into it. Okay. And so they actually end up leaving. They didn't get the car. Antoine was just very adamant. He didn't want his name on the car. She didn't want her name on the car. So, they disagreed on that and they end up leaving the dealership. So I want to hear your thoughts on Antoine and Lacy.
Well, first of all, I don't know if you saw the comment that Johnny left, but she said,
Mm-hmm.
"Yeah." Did you mention that?
Yeah, about the bath.
Oh, okay.
Uh-huh.
Okay, I didn't hear you say that part. That's disgusting.
Yeah.
But so I'm with y'all. I'm with you. They're not my favorite couple either. I don't have a whole lot to say other than I agree. Like she's wrong. She's still trying to push the whole like your mom is not somebody I want in your life. And I did like how he called her out on that whole like. So you gathered that whole thing that my mom is this big influence. I'm gonna go with her. I'm gonna just fall off of everything and just turn back into doing wrong just because I go see my mom. He was like, that's basically offensive. And so
Yeah.
I'm glad he called her out on it because she was looking like, yeah, yeah. She's still gonna feel how she feel, but at least she get that he gonna stand up for his mom regardless, and that's gonna be a battle for her if she really want to take that on. And then as far as I thought the little golf thing was cute or whatever, And I mean, she did try to find something that wasn't like super crowded, which I think that was a good thing because it started out being like us a lot of people, but it ended up being they kind of were by themselves. I just kind of thought it was a bit I don't know that bad. I don't know. It kind of grossed me out, but because then it was like when she lost, he was like, "Yeah, I got you, I got you." So I'm like, I really want to know exactly what they're gonna do when they go home. You know what I mean? Like, I don't need to know the details.
But at the same time, I thought that was cute. Like,
It was cute, but I don't know. Like, I just didn't want the details.
yeah,
I'm not a fan of her either, and I feel like she looks a lot older than 39.
yeah,
So I don't know. Maybe I'm just like, ew. But really, she ain't that old. I mean, 38. Really, she ain't that old. But because I mean, obviously, she's younger than me, so I'm like, I can't even talk bad about her. She just looked older than me. Like she be my mom. But you know, but because even when she mentioned the kid thing, I was like, dang, I thought she was like old. And then when she said 38, I'm like, oh snap, never mind, my bad. I felt kind of bad for feeling the way I felt about her saying that. I'm like, ooh, ain't you too old for that? And then I'm like, oh yeah, she's not like the other ones who are like 20 and 50. Like she's actually 39, 38. I'm like, wow, okay. But so she still could have babies. But yeah, and I agree with you too with the whole why they rushing it because everybody comes like usually it's the ones. No, yep, it is the ones that are on the outside. They're like, oh, we gotta have a baby, have a family, whatever. But I guess in their defense, they put their life on hold for that amount of time, and normally 2, 3 years, 5 years would actually be a normal time where you would be looking at that type of stuff. But I guess jail time and real time, where you're face to face and all that, isn't the same because we see them other couples in previous episodes that, even though it seemed like they would work, they still didn't work. And it's because you can be with somebody 20 years, but once you move in, that changes the game on everything. You realize everything you like or dislike about somebody, no matter how much you love them, sometimes that changes everything. So, um, and that's hey, why it don't always work out. But with them two, I mean, I know these two ain't gonna work. Um, but he do keep it real. Like she be like, "I love you." He don't say nothing back, and then the not taking a shower thing straight out of jail thing was a bit nasty. But or wherever he came from was a bit nasty. But hey, she probably did whatever she was gonna do to him, knowing that he didn't do it. So she ain't. She kind of nasty too, in my opinion. So maybe that's that freaky side of her. Like she don't care what kind of dirt and
maybe
grime is
that's
on him.
what she's into.
Yeah,
Stinky
like
clean is not a
yeah,
deal breaker.
yeah. Give it to me how I get it. Like I've been waiting for this. It don't matter. She like it could have came out with mud on it. I still want that. You know what I'm saying? She don't care. She ain't
Yeah,
like no girl.
he
Like
took
she was
that
like,
phrase, got it out the mud. Like seriously.
yeah, yeah. She ain't no insecurities, ain't nothing. She just like give it to me.
But
But the
you know
thing is, I
what?
guess he had the more of the reserve type. But then
Yeah,
when he said it was a B, I took it as the sex. But you know,
yeah. But was it? He was saying the sex with her was a B, or his performance was a B, or was
no,
it?
I think he meant with her. That's how I took it. But he could have meant his performance. But and if that's the case, then hey, it can only get better from there. I guess if he felt like he can do better. But because if that was the best he had, he would have been like, oh, I was my best. But if he said she was a B, then that sucks.
Yeah.
Because yeah, she might have thought she put it on him. Who knows?
Oh yeah.
But
But we know she wanted him because she was looking at him like he was a pork chop.
oh
They were
yeah,
on the couch. I was like, "Ugh, girl,
yeah,
calm
she was
down."
sucking on it, trying to suck on his face like old boy was doing, coming in with the tongue first.
Mhm.
Like she was ready, and it was mad at him for not being ready at that moment.
Right.
She was like, I
Right.
want to touch you.
Yeah. It was just
So,
kind of Stevie looking to me.
yeah.
All right, Sean, what are your thoughts?
All right. Well, the B, I think it was just the overall performance. I don't think he was just talking about her performance. And the AAA people, I think that's a scam, a scam, because like you said, it always takes 2 hours. Wherever you at, oh, it'll be 2 hours, an hour to two. 4 hours, like the cable thing, 2 to 4 hours, we'll be there, in hopes that you get tired of waiting and you get out there and you change that tire yourself. And then that way they don't have to change the tire and they got paid for the services that they're not providing. So,
Mhm.
Do they
so
get paid if they don't provide it?
well, you're already paying for it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
So
and then they only give you so many chance like the toe. Like you only get like 3 or 4. So then they can mark that off as a toe or
Nah,
whatever.
if they ain't
I
come told, they ain't marking that off. I'm gonna be like, that must have been erasable ink. Y'all better mark that off. Get
yeah,
that.
so they something else.
Yeah, I know
So
one time I had to argue with them because they were supposed to. Well, I originally called for a tow, but when they got there, they were like, let's just try to jump you off and see what happens. And they did, and I drove off, but they counted it as a tow.
ain't that
Oh
something?
no, we would have uncounted that. Like I'd have closed
Mhm.
that. They'd have been. I've been at headquarters. Like
Yeah,
this is your headquarters. Like
that's where I
I'd
was
be like,
headed
is your
to.
name AAA? If not, then don't talk to me.
uh,
Right.
so
Like
yeah,
you can't
so
take away one of my toes with me
No.
off.
right. So when Antoine was like, "I'm not going to change the tire," I guess the producer must have asked him something because he said he never changed one and he don't want to get his hands dirty, and that's why you got other people. I was like, "Yeah, I agree with that. That's what you
Yeah,
pay the
he
money
said
for."
there are people waiting around to do this for you. I'm like, that's true.
Yeah. So
Every time I pull up, they're waiting, even though it takes them 2, 3 hours to do it. They're always waiting around.
uh, so that was that. The He's sticking up for his mom. I'm glad he did that. Let her know that no, this is my mom. Basically, you can't talk
Right.
about my mom like that. And if you expect this relationship to go anywhere, either A, she's gonna have to either suck it up and respect the relationship that he has with the mother, or
Hmm.
B, don't say anything and let him go off and do his thing, go spend time with his mom. You just stay at the house, So she shouldn't try to get in between them, and obviously her and the mom is not gonna be friends again. So let them go do their thing and you stay home, you know. Because then too, how he had told her about the other girl that was trying to come between the mom. I don't. I think he just left it up to her imagination. As far as
Yeah.
obviously, we're not together. Me and that other girl is not together. My mom is still here. So if you don't
Hmm.
want to be the other girl, like the other girl, then hey, wake up, smell the coffee. Uh, and so from there was that, and then the car thing. What got me was the she talked it up. To me, it seemed like she talked it up to like she was going to get him a car because she brought up the car thing. He never brought up anything about vehicle.
Right.
So you brought up the vehicle thing. We get there to the place, and now it's time to pay. He's going to put some money down, and I thought she was going to just pay for the rest. And then, hey, you done bought the man a car. I agree with you. I see both sides of it to where, yeah, why would I put my name on the car if something happens? Then I'm going to be, liable. But then on the other side, if you decide to up and leave, and I don't your name on the car and I pay for the car, you get to take the car and ride off, and I'm stuck with the bill. So I see both sides on that. And then too, I didn't think about it until you just said it. Uh, she's more concerned about about him doing something wrong, and that's why you're not going to use the car thing. But you letting this man live in your house, so you don't have no concerns about him doing something wrong in your house. Because if you do something wrong in your house and they come, take the house, because if
Right.
you do drugs in your house, you lose your house, So uh, to me, the whole thing, so it's a bit fishy about that. And there was something else. The golf thing. Yeah, I thought the golf thing was nice. At first, when it was pulling up, I was like, no, there's a lot of cars out there. And the man
Mhm.
already said he got anxiety problems about being around a lot of people. But once he got in there and he started feeling comfortable, they started playing and they was having a good time. I was like, well, okay, I guess that did turn out to be a good thing. Now, I also was a little curious too. I would like to know what the actual bet was, but he said he's going to have to do some work. So hopefully they take a shower before they go ahead on and do the work, So, uh, but yeah, so that's all I got on them too. But as far as the dislike, I still dislike her more than I dislike him. I really don't have a problem with him. because to me he is keeping it real, and she's too busy trying to break up the mother son
Mhm.
relationship. If she just concentrate on her relationship with him and don't worry about the mother, then y'all be all right, you know. And eventually, if you know, what I'm saying, if them two is good, and he start to notice that, oh, okay, maybe I am spending a little bit too much time with my mom than my woman, then eventually he would spend more time with the with his wife, instead of with his mom. But so far, it's only been 2 days, and he haven't spent not one lick of time with his mom. Spent all the time with her,
Well, the
and she,
mom has COVID, remember? So he can't
yeah,
go around her right now.
yeah, yeah. But still, she got him all to herself. So
Yeah,
so far, she's
absolutely.
learned
She
about
has.
nothing. Yeah, because she had one for at least 10 days, or is it
Yeah.
14? It's 10, right?
Oh,
So
they keep changing it.
yeah, so yeah, so she had them for 10 to 14 days. Don't have to
Hmm.
worry about the mom. So then my thing is, once the COVID time is up and he can go over there and spend time with the mom, is she gonna be tripping that now he wants to go spend time with his mother, and she already been with you for 10 days nonstop. You had him for a whole 10 days. He
Yeah,
wants to go spend one day with his mom, then come back with you. Is she gonna be tripping on that? So if
yeah,
that's the case, then most definitely that relationship is not going to last long.
yeah. I feel like she will because for whatever reason, their friendship is over. She doesn't want him around his mom. She wants, and I'm almost wondering if it's just something personal where she's like, hey, I'm gonna keep her son away. I can keep her son away. I just don't know.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So yeah, that is something. So I wonder what it is. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely. Alrighty, so our last couple was Rick and Brady. All right, so I end up feeling bad for Rick this episode because I've told you guys I like Rick. I think Rick is a great person, even though he says that he's done all these outlandish things. We haven't seen that yet from Rick, but yeah. And so we see it is Radine's release date, and so Rick is in the vehicle with her parents, and they're driving to go pick her up. However, they are late. And I find it funny. The mom says, "Well, we are late, but surely they don't have her out there in the cold because this was a really cold day." They pull up, and Radine is on the corner with her stuff, so they did put her out in the cold. I'm sorry. All right, and so when Radine gets into the truck, or no, they go to a restaurant. All right, and so Radine yet again drops a bombshell in front of her parents to Rick. Rick was in the dark about this. And so apparently, I guess she has parole to her parents' house. She says that she is going to live with her parents. She feels like her dad will be able to assist her if she has any type of issues or whatever, regarding her release, and he will be able to help keep her out. We can visibly tell that Rick is bothered by this because he's caught off guard because he thought she was living with him, and he's made arrangements and plans and stuff like that for her to be with him. And he also reveals that since she went back to the halfway house from her Thanksgiving break, that they don't talk as much and she seems a little different. I say, go with your instincts, Rick. Okay. And so they end up dropping her parents off, and then her parents was like, hey, use the truck to go drop Rick off at home. So Radine does. And so they're in the truck, and you can tell Rick is trying to lead the conversation there, like, what are you doing tonight? What are you doing tonight? That's what they're kind of saying. And she's like, I'm so tired. I can't wait to go home and get in the bed. And he's like, oh, okay, because I got some wine from New Year's. She's like, yeah, have fun with that. I was like, ah. And so she drops Rick off at home. He tells her, I love you, as he's walking away from the truck. She doesn't say anything, just shuts the door. I was like, that's so mean. But whatever. And so she reveals to the camera once she's alone. She says she doesn't want to spend the night at Rick's house because she doesn't want to have sex with him. She said he became very emotional the last time after they had sex, that he brought up things about Kay and things of that nature. But I'm like, I think she's being a little harsh on Rick because what do you expect when you're revealing things and he's seeing things about Kay that he never knew? Like he had no clue that your family has their own type of relationship or whatever with Kay, where they're talking to her on the phone and she's FaceTiming during dinner. I get where Radine is coming from that, hey, this is my girlfriend and she has a right to everything. But guess what? Rick also had a right to know about Kay before all of this as well. And what your true relationship is with her and what you're expecting from it. So I just felt like she was being a little selfish in that aspect of it. I want to hear your thoughts and opinions on Rick and Kay. Not Rick and Kay, Rick and Radine.
You had it right, Rick and Kay. Because I'm thinking that Kay might be getting out soon.
Well, Radine said she had like 4 years.
Yeah, she could be up
four
for
years
yeah,
on
she could
parole
be
or something.
yeah, something,
Yeah.
but maybe she told Rick 4 years, and maybe she might get
Yeah.
out a little bit
And
soon.
maybe in 2 weeks, Kay
Yeah,
is going to be home. Yeah.
because she found out while she was in the halfway house. They've been talking back and forth, and Kay probably like,
Yeah.
well, if I be good, they say they'll let me out. But that's just me speculating. But yeah, I think he should go on his instinct. Trust your instinct, because if she seems different, then something's wrong.
Yeah.
Something's up. And too bad that he's not gonna be able to get it out of her, because anytime he brings it up, she's gonna want to change the subject, or
Yeah.
she's to answer the question with a question. Manipulate the whole situation. Now the father, he's a trip, because I know we discussed earlier how he brought up the virgin thing, about her sex life, and I can just imagine I'm sitting at the table and my mom did all my well, it'd probably be my mom, be close to my mom. Mom would be like, "Yeah, you ain't a virgin. You ain't been a virgin in so long." I'd be like, "Whoa, mom, that's a little too much information. Huh? I don't
Right.
want you to know that I have sex."
Right.
but the the emotion thing, because she's saying that she talked about the sex, and now the sex was okay or better than she expected, and the reason why it wasn't that good is because he get all emotional afterwards, and talking about Kay. And like you say, I agree. If you drop this here in my lap yesterday, then I'm going to talk about it tomorrow. You know, I am going to talk about it for at least 2, 3 days until I'm able to get some answers and get comfortable with the situation at hand. Uh,
Right.
so I'm not going to just like, I think she just want her to just, want Rick to just take it and move on. Okay, I told you, and I did my part. Now you just accept what I said. Now let's just move on and just go forward from there. And we'll deal with it with the problem when it comes up. Right now it's just me and you, and when I'm with Kay, it's just me and Kay, and then you just have to deal with that when it happens. And the whole parole thing, I wonder if she changed her parole, because hopefully she changed it, and told the parole officers that she's going to be at the parents' house.
You
Because
know what? I was thinking she may not have ever put Rick's address down.
oh yeah, that would be something. Yeah, that would
Yeah,
be
because she's
something.
sneaky. She's sneaky.
Uh, the whole time. And I was Rick on that situation there. If I did, it depends on how I feel. I could see myself if I did whatever I bought for her. Either if I had the receipts, I'll take it back, get my money back with the arrangements that I did at the house, get my money back, or I'll just give it to her and be like, here, keep the stuff. Don't ask me for nothing else. I don't have nothing to do with you. But because I doubt seriously he kept the receipts to those that all them draws that he bought, panties and stuff. Um, and he did spend some money on her,
Hmm.
with that. And who else knows what else he had bought and what he did, arrangement that he did at the house. But I know one person, the roommate's going to be happy, so she ain't got to worry about having to compete with another woman in the house. So that'd be on her part. She don't have to worry about that. But Rick, uh, I think he should continue to ask questions until he get the answer that he's looking for. And
Yeah.
if she don't want to answer any questions, then he might have to give her an ultimatum. You know, and I don't really care about ultimatums, because to me, if a person give me an ultimatum, I'm normally going to go with the one that they don't want. Either me or the rope. So I'll be okay. I'm gonna take the rope. But if she does decide that, then hey, uh, he can find somebody else. I'm pretty sure he can find someone else, because
Yeah.
she's not the one. She's not the one.
Yeah. And then that roommate of his, I'm pretty sure she'll be okay with him slipping into her room.
Yeah, she sure wouldn't mind. Sure wouldn't mind. Because all the money, I think too, all the money that he's gonna save, because he ain't got to spend it on Radine. So
Right.
yeah, because she's gonna need some money, so she's gonna come back and knocking on the door.
Yeah,
Hope
and then she also made the statement that she didn't want him to leave. It's like
right,
you're conflicted on whether you want to be with him, but you know you don't want him to leave.
right. Because it's one of those the same thing like with Harold. I mean Harry. You
Mhm.
she knows she got a good man, and she don't want to lose that good man, but she wants to be able to go out and do whatever she wants to do, and
Right.
then she's ready to settle down. She already got the good man right here, so she don't have to go looking for that good man. So she can do whatever
Yeah.
she wants to do, and then bam, he's here. I'm ready. So and in hopes that he don't go nowhere.
Yeah.
So yeah. So she might have to be. She should want to be careful of that mindset too.
Yeah. Absolutely. All right, Reese. So Rick and Brady this week.
I didn't really have much on them because I'm like you. I like Rick. I really don't like Brady. Kind of like how the last one. I like oh boy, but I don't like oh girl. I can't think of their names right now. Antoine,
Antoine and Lacy.
yeah, and Lacy. I don't like Lacy, and of course I don't like Radine. But she too much for me. Like she keeps like trying to say maybe it is something that we don't know with Kay because it's like you two flip flopping. Now, is it smart for her to stay home with her parents? Yes, because we see that it goes really bad when these people are just moving in with their exes or their supposed boyfriend girlfriends. Because then when stuff don't get go the way planned, people want to kick you out or you got to leave, and then you got to worry about where am I going to go. So being
Hmm.
at home with her family is smart. You know what I mean? Like, but she should have made that decision in the beginning and told him like, you live in the local area, so it's not like we won't still hang out and see each other all the time. Um, but she just keep hitting him with too many things out of left field, like, oh, I got a girlfriend, or I'm gonna live with my parents, and she don't talk to him about anything. So that junk is just driving me crazy, and I'm over her and her acting like, oh, this is such an annoyance to me, and oh, he's frustrating me so much. Well, he wouldn't frustrate you if he knew. Of course, he
Right.
wants to talk about it because he found out. To me, that's only natural and that's only fair. So
Yeah.
she gets on my nerves with her dramatics. When if he was throwing you all these curveballs, you would feel the same way. You know what I mean? If out of nowhere it's like, oh um, yeah, I don't want this and yeah, I don't want that. When it's like the whole last 5 years, that's all y'all talked about. Like, give the man the respect to say like, I changed my mind and this is where I'm gonna stay. While you were in that month and you decided that you were gonna stay there, because when she came out of for that weekend, she didn't say anything about it. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm over her. Hopefully, like he stops being so into her and just go ahead and move on because she annoys me. Now I will say she didn't look as crazy as she did this time around. Like I don't know if it's maybe she she been out of jail a little longer. I don't know, but and she didn't really show her mouth a lot either. But like her appearance, so she didn't like her hair look better and all that stuff. Um, but I still don't like her. So I just feel bad for Rick. I really do. He need to stop like letting her play him. That's all I got because they annoy me, or she
Okay.
annoyed me, and him trying to figure out why. It's like she's not gonna tell you why. She just gonna keep like playing with you. And then he was dumb to ask the second time. I'm like, no, she already said she wasn't staying with you. Leave it alone.
Hmm. Yeah, it was like he just had to ask that one last time to try to get
And I
it.
understand, but you just know, like,
Yeah, because like when they was even at the table, even though it was, I felt like an inappropriate thing for him to say in front of her parents, but they are inappropriate with her. So when he was like, the parents asked like, "What are y'all's plans for later or whatever?" And he was like, "Oh, Netflix and chill." And she's like,
yeah.
that sounds good, but not that." I think that might have been the point where the dad said something about her virginity, right?
No, he said something about Virginia when she got that virgin Mark
Oh,
what was that
drink,
thing
yeah,
that married whatever.
the Bloody Mary.
Bloody Mary, there you go. I don't know why I can't want to say Rosemary.
Yeah, because that would trip me out too. Because when she was saying that if I can not drink alcohol, stop
Eat
eating
meat.
sugar and cakes and all that type of stuff, then
That's
all
not
the other
easy.
addictions is gonna stop. She be able to control the other addictions.
I don't think so. That's not easy.
Nah, nah, because it don't work that way.
Uh-uh.
Sugar and drugs is two different things.
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta have sugar. Ain't nothing wrong with sugar. Little
Like
diabetes.
you can literally cut out like
Mm.
drugs and alcohol and it not be unless you're a full blown alcoholic or a full blown addict. But she's been away from it for a while, so you can cut that out without it being a life altering thing because it's already been life altering for her. But to me, I don't know. When you say giving up sodas, juice, everything that's being like bland, like oh,
Yeah,
then you're gonna be a vegan and all this other stuff. It's like, wait a minute, you want me to give up meat today? Like,
yeah. Like you giving up a lot of stuff at one time. Usually,
yeah,
most people do it gradually. So you're going to send yourself into a shock. If
yeah,
you,
because she's giving up drugs, alcohol, and all of that.
Yeah. Because see, that's what she's gonna say. She's gonna say, I had to do the drugs and the alcohol because I didn't want to eat the meat and do the donuts and the cakes and all that there. So it drove me to it instead of drawing her away from it. Because to me, if you eat all that stuff, then you don't need the drugs and the alcohol. Because
yeah.
a good, nice chocolate cake and some milk that can do wonders for your soul.
Hmm.
Matter of fact, that's what I'm going to get now. Yeah.
Look at yourself.
Mm. Right now.
Okay.
Yeah, apple pie and ice cream. You know, what's that?
Look, Gracie. That's what we need
Brown.
to talk about the next time he jumps on that 2 minute thing.
brown- Ooh, you see, I let it go. I let it go. I let it go because you see, obviously, you women don't want to listen to what I have
Sean,
to
a
say
warm
anyway.
cupcake with a tall, cold glass of milk.
Yeah, girl. And then you get that chocolate fudge brownie, and then
Uh
it make
huh.
it so it's nice and warm, and put the ice cream on it, and it'd be nice, and
Uh
the
huh.
ice cream would just melt on the fudge brownie, and you can add some
Hmm.
nuts to it too.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Or some chocolate syrup would be nice
He
too.
about to go over there and have a sugar overload. You need to leave him alone, or he gonna make the world's biggest Sunday.
Yeah, yeah. That's what I'm talking
We
about.
gonna find out he OD'd over there on sugar.
That's right. All because I couldn't get my 2 minutes.
We got
You being a bit extra.
back.
He
Uh-huh, we
extra,
did.
Dang,
Yeah.
it feels like I just left and came back to the same conversation.
man. We
Well,
had moved on, and then all of a sudden, yeah.
we were just doing Rick and Radine. So any thoughts
Uh,
about Radine this week?
she wants her cake and eat it too, and
She does.
to. She just needs to be honest with him. I can appreciate that she made the adult decision to stay at home, though. You
Yeah.
know, because I think that does take more responsibility to put yourself in a situation where you will be held accountable. Um, so I thought that was pretty cool that she could make that decision and that she stuck with it and she did it.
Hmm.
So other than that, though, I think she just needs to be honest with him and just tell him.
Yeah, and then I also want her to be honest and then understand or respect his response to it. Because like this
Right,
whole I understood where he was coming from because I would have felt some type of way if I've been holding you down the last 5 years. You've been telling me, or I've had the assumption that you're coming to my house, and then I just find out casually. And then she's always saying it so casually to him, like she isn't even expecting him to have any kind of feeling or emotion towards what she's saying.
She didn't even say it to him. She said it to her parents.
Yeah.
yeah, and that's just really weird.
That's
Like, why can't
disrespectful.
you just be honest with him and tell him what
Hmm.
the truth is?
Hmm.
So outside of that, that's pretty much all I had on them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I said, I do like Rick, so I think I get a little bit. I be feeling bad for him. But like I said before, he has said that he's done all these crazy things, but I haven't seen him doing anything crazy. I've just been seeing him be a nice guy. So I kind of
Yeah,
want her to be a little bit nicer to him instead
right.
of violence.
Absolutely.
And I need for her dad to stop being inappropriate and making me, ugh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's cringy.
Hmm. Yeah. Even though I think her dad is a cool dude, but he talks about her sex life entirely too much.
Yeah, he does. That's just too much that he knows and that he's willing to share that he knows.
Right.
My dad and I are close, but I trust you, me. He ain't gonna sit there.
Yeah, I'm not to my
He
sex
ain't gonna
life.
put that
Granted,
on
I
blast.
know I have a child, but for you, you think I'm a virgin.
Right,
That's
right. Hold
right.
on, y'all.
That's right. Because my mama know I'm a virgin.
Oh, we got a scan.
Yeah.
We did on Eventbrite. Yeah. Uh-huh. Oh, okay. Second. Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Okay. Thank you.
All right, so I was going to bring up one more thing since Johnny did mention it to us. Lacie and Antoine not bathing before their sexual activity. We know you picked him up from prison. You didn't want to at least wash the prison dust off before y'all got into it and your entanglement.
Yeah. Hold on 1 second. I'm sorry, y'all.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, we're at an
Well,
Easter
get
egg.
my 2 minutes now. Oh, never mind.
Say that
We
again,
were
Sean.
talking about.
Oh,
Well,
go ahead.
since Johnny said hold on, I thought I better get my 2 minutes now. But she's back now. Go ahead on,
So,
John. Go
you
ahead
know what I
on,
was
Jan.
just thinking about,
Yeah,
Sean? Do you like carrot cake?
go ahead. Go.
You
Oh,
like
carrot
carrot
cake.
cake?
Let
No,
her
I don't
talk
care
because
for
she might
carrot
not
cake.
be able
I
to stay
too
out
funny
too
for
much
carrot
longer.
cake.
Let her talk.
That is too funny.
I,
Y'all were talking about the
uh,
nasty ATX,
the nasty.
the
Mhm.
nasty. That was gross.
Yeah.
Like, why didn't he enjoy his shower the night before? Where
Because
was he crazy?
she wanted him. Remember, she was basically pawing him on the couch and everything else.
She
Thought she
was,
was
but that's
okay.
even gross on her.
Yeah.
That's what I said.
Yeah.
He could have came in there with mud on it, and she was like, "Give it to
And
me."
she was gonna climb on that. I would have wanted him. Well, he probably would have been, and then he could have been relaxed, and maybe it wouldn't have been a B. It would have been an A.
Yeah.
Maybe the B came from it not being clean.
Right. Because, like, naturally, when you travel and you've been in a car, when you get to your destination, you want to clean up and relax.
Right.
Not
Yeah,
just
and be comfortable and everything,
no,
but
I don't know.
that was gross.
Very much so. Yeah, very, very much so. Mm-hmm. Hey, Sean, did you have anything that add on the cougar and her nasty?
No, I don't have anything to add. Nothing. Nothing at all.
Okay. Alrighty then. Well, that was this week's show. So we're gonna go ahead and wrap up here. Make sure that you hit the like button as well as hit the subscribe button if you're not subscribed to us, so you'll know every time we go live. And we're always here on Saturdays doing Love After Lockup. So thank you for watching, and until next time, friends. Bye.
Bye.